Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We talking the Nets losing in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference, baby. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm not a hater. I don't like to see players get hurt. Shouts out to Kyrie. Hope you heal well, my friend. But I gotta say, bruh, I'm happy them jokers lost, man, because for the equilibrium of the NBA, it is vital that these jokers lose, man. I was more happy to see these guys lose than Thor was to see the Hulk. Yes! I was happier to see the Nets lose than Piccolo was on Namek.
This is amazing! I feel incredible! Yes, 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 yes! I can win! I feel great! I can do this!
Bruh, I was happier than Spider-Man was when he discovered his powers. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that I'm happy they lost, but at the same time, I'm hurt that they got hurt. You get what I'm saying? I'm not wishing hurt injuries on anybody, but at the same time, I feel like the NBA gods have a way of balancing the power, and this is what happened. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, I'm gonna jump straight into it, and like I said before, not wishing injury on anyone, but being a fan of the NBA for so many years, the basketball gods usually have some way of imposing their will on certain situations. And this situation here was a bona fide championship in the making. But injuries, unfortunately, are part of the game. And again, I don't want anyone to get injured, but it happens. You get what I'm saying? And this has happened before with the 73-9 Warriors. This idea that, hey, you get what I'm saying? The guaranteed team to win isn't always the guaranteed team to win, if that makes sense. Now, to be fair, your boy Durant, he balled out. He did pretty much everything he can do. So I have been a critic of Durant. I'm not really going to criticize him for this one because he honestly didn't have enough help on this one for him to be progressive. But with that said, I'm pretty sure after they acquired James Harden, he probably subconsciously felt like the championship was an automatic situation. And I got news for you. The basketball gods, the Herm Edwards of the world, you played to win the game, had something else to say about that. And the Bucks came to play. Things went wrong for the Nets at the right time for the Bucks, and they took advantage, man. I'm happy for Giannis. I'm happy for, regular teams and not super teams. Don't get me wrong. And I have a love-hate relationship with the whole super team concept, because if the Spurs had a super team, I'll be happy as hell. But because other teams have it, we have the tendency to criticize. But just because you have a super team doesn't mean it happens every time. If you think about LeBron's first run with Miami, they lost to Dallas. If you think about the 73-9 team, like I mentioned before, with Steph Curry, although that was pretty much a homegrown super team, it didn't happen. You get what I'm saying? And then also, obviously, when Kevin Durant, hurt his Achilles and Toronto was able to get the championship that year, that was another example of just injuries kind of popping up and spoiling things. Because, and I'm not, happy those things happen, but it's part of the game. And it also kind of centers as a reminder to say, hey, you can't try to cheat the system. You can't try to cheat the game. Not too often. You get what I'm saying? I think Kevin Durant, not to use the word cheat, was kind of cheating his way to a championship again, if I'm being honest. In my personal opinion, and the basketball guy said, no, sir. Obviously, the Bucks coach is a former Spur. He was assistant coach for many years for the Spurs. So I am rooting for him, because if he lost this series, I'm pretty sure he would have lost his job. So I'm happy to see that he, preserved his career because of this. Because I kind of feel like if he lost to the Nets full strength, that wouldn't be fair for him to lose his job, because again, this is a super team. But I was happy to see him get over the hump, and I hope, maybe, just maybe they may win an NBA championship. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of rooting for Chris Paul to come back from this COVID situation and for the Suns to win a championship. If I'm being honest, I think that would be poetic for Chris Paul, who was somewhat cheated out of a championship when the NBA just inadvertently just canceled the Lakers trade with Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant. Now, I'm a Spurs fan, so that kind of helped us out, obviously. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, fair is fair. You get what I'm saying? And the way they handled that was pretty, piss poor, if I'm being honest. So I'm curious to see what happens in the NBA. I'm curious to see, what's to come in the NBA. We got a lot of new blood. No LeBron, no Steph Curry, no Spurs. A lot of new teams in the mix. And I gotta say, even as a Spurs fan, it's kind of cool to see a new wave of teams in the mix. You get what I'm saying? Because other fans deserve to be happy too. Other fans deserve to hope as well. You get what I'm saying? I hope the Spurs come back, stronger than ever after this great offseason I know we're going to have. Fingers crossed. But at the same time, I can understand other NBA fans and other NBA teams wishing and hoping for their time in the sun. I can't really hate on that, because as a Spurs fan, we had so many years. You get what I'm saying? So many years to bask in the sun and the championship light. So I can't necessarily complain, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, being a fan for so long of the NBA, it feels good for traditional teams to make it deeper into the playoffs. And I'm not really necessarily knocking Durant, because if we're being fair, he didn't necessarily join a super team. At first, he just joined up with Kyrie, which was somewhat fair. And then the opportunity presented itself for them to get Harden, and they kind of became this overpowered super team. So giving him credit for not necessarily joining the super team, which he kind of did before with the 73-9, I could kind of see him kind of getting sucked into the situation. But I don't think he was like angry about getting sucked into the situation. So at the same time, that's why, God bless their injuries, God bless their recovery. But at the same time, as a fan, it's almost a bit satisfying to see the basketball gods kind of put their foot down and, the winning team be a traditional team. The Bucks are a traditional team, and they're so ready to get rid of the coach. But honestly, we're being honest, he's probably one of the best coaches in the league. He's a traditional coach. You have your superstar and you build around your superstar, versus just having, 2, 3, 4 all-stars on the same team, which is unheard of. You get what I'm saying? And again, I'm not bashing super teams, but in regards of firing coaches for losing to super teams, to me, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Just wanted to share my thoughts on the Nets elimination. Make sure you check out the other other videos on the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy out there, guys. Peace.